he never planned to be a hero that day. David was on his way home from a long, grueling shift at the mechanic shop, his mind occupied with bills, exhaustion, and the distant silence of an empty house. The road he took was always quiet at that hour, just trees, cracked pavement, and the occasional gust of wind brushing the leaves. But that night, something unexpected caught his eye. Lying on the side of the road, motionless and thin as a skeleton, was a dog. Its fur was matted with dirt and dried blood. Ribs poked through its skin like prison bars, and its eyes, those eyes, barely blinked. David slowed his car. He almost kept driving. He told himself someone else would take care of it. But something in that dog's eyes, something desperate, something human, made him stop. David got out, crouched down, and gently laid a hand on the dog's trembling side. It was still alive, but barely. "Hey, buddy," he whispered. The dog gave a faint whimper, almost like a sigh of relief. With a shaky breath, David wrapped the animal in his worn-out hoodie, placed it gently in the back seat, and drove. At home, he made a bed from old towels and blankets, laid the dog down, and named him Scout. The first 2 days were terrifying. Scout refused to eat. He didn't move. David stayed up watching him all night, Googling symptoms, trying different foods, even spoon-feeding warm broth. He called local shelters, but no one had space. Most told him the dog should be put down, it was too far gone. But David couldn't do it. He wouldn't. For reasons he didn't understand, he needed Scout to make it. On the third day, Scout lifted his head. By day 4, he stood, wobbly and confused, but standing. And on the 5th day, something changed. David woke up to the feeling of a warm nose nudging his hand. He opened his eyes and saw Scout's tail thump weakly against the floor. David laughed, real laughter. The first in weeks. He began to notice things. Scout followed him from room to room, always watching, always close. He'd lay his head on David's lap whenever he sat down and would whimper softly whenever he left the house. There was a connection between them, a quiet understanding that neither had felt in a long time. But something truly strange happened on the 7th day. David had taken Scout for a short walk in the woods behind his home, the same trail he used to walk with his father years ago. It was a peaceful place, filled with memories and echoes. As they reached a clearing, Scout stopped suddenly. His ears perked up. Then, without warning, he bolted into the trees. "Scout!" David shouted, panic rising. His heart pounded as he ran after him, branches tearing at his arms. Images flashed through his mind, Scout collapsing again, getting lost, hurt, but then, just ahead, he saw the dog barking and digging furiously into the ground. When David caught up, he noticed it immediately, the scent. Gasoline. Oil. Something sharp and dangerous. He looked down and saw it. A cracked pipe, slowly leaking dark liquid into the soil, not far from a buried power cable. His neighbor had been complaining about strange smells in the yard, but no one took it seriously. If that pipe had leaked further, it could have caused an explosion. It could have destroyed homes. Killed people. David called the authorities. Hours later, they confirmed what Scout had led him to, an underground gas leak no one had detected. His quick action likely saved lives. As the sun dipped behind the trees that evening, David sat on his porch, Scout curled up beside him, his head on David's foot. Tears rolled down David's face, not out of fear this time, or sadness, but out of overwhelming gratitude. He thought he'd saved Scout. But somehow, Scout had saved him. That night, David posted their story online, just to share. It exploded. Comments poured in. People offered donations, others shared their own stories of rescue and redemption. News outlets picked it up. A local reporter came to interview him. And everywhere he went, people knew Scout's name. But for David, none of that mattered. Because a week ago, he was a man dragging himself through a silent, colorless life. Now, every morning, he woke up to a tail wagging, to hope, to something worth getting up for. Sometimes, heroes come in the form of a man with grease-stained hands. Sometimes, they have 4 legs and a second chance. And sometimes, if you're lucky, you get to save each other.